I'm Philip Helberg.
And I'm Yvette Helberg.
We are owners of Helberg Barbecue. I grew up about an hour north of Houston. She's from Central California. We met actually in Hawaii. We stayed in touch. She eventually convinced me to move out to California with her. I lasted about 2 years before I got too cramped in with the space.
My first trip to Texas was in 2016. We drove from California and we went through just about every part of Texas. My favorite part was Waco. I told her, I like Waco. That's where I want to live. It reminded me of home enough to where I was comfortable, but it wasn't too city.
We started the barbecue thing in California. I had been smoking briskets and ribs and stuff like that in our backyard, just being homesick. We decided, hey, it would be really cool to do like a barbecue trailer. There's plenty of barbecue in Texas, but Wacoans seem to really have an affinity for locally made stuff. There's just as much, if not more, mom and pop shops around everywhere than there are large corporate chains, and they seem to do really well, and there seems to be a lot of respect. That's why we felt comfortable opening up here. The local aspect, I think, kind of convinced me that I thought we would do pretty well here, because we are trying to do everything local as much as we can possibly do here on our farm or in Central Texas. It's really not any different from how they did it in the early 1900s. We use all steel offset cookers, indirect heat pits that are welded out of old decommissioned propane tanks. We use post oak wood. It's very abundant here in Central Texas, and we really like the flavor of it. We've searched high and low to find people who can get us never ever any antibiotics or growth hormones in any of our meats.
We think it's worth it to have that all natural, because there's not many places that can say
for
that.
every one of their meats. We thought, why wouldn't we just try to apply that across the board? It's a long, laborious craft too, you know what I mean? It starts with going to cut down dead trees or pick up piles of wood from places around locally, bringing it back here, cutting it up, and then it's just salt, pepper, and good, clean oak wood smoke. Typical cook takes around anywhere from 14 to 16 hours. We have somebody on the clock starting at 4 or 5 a.m. going until about 1 a.m. There's a very little amount of sleep and a lot of work, but we think it pays off. Sausage making is the real deal. It's really as simple as taking our leftover brisket trimmings that we're not using, putting them through the grinder and mixing it with some seasoning, stuffing it into a natural casing and smoking it. There are a lot of nuances to sausage making that can really make or break you, just like cooking with wood in the outdoors. When you live in Texas and you're having to cook consistent barbecue with the weather that we have here, it's a challenge, and that's why I love it. I've done a lot of different things. I think I like this one the most. This is kind of what I want to do for the rest of my life because it does keep me on my toes. It's simple and yet not at the same time. It's meat, fire, smoke. A lot goes into it. We're opening up our trailer outside of Pinewood Roasters on Austin and 23rd. We'll be out there for lunch Fridays and Saturdays from 11 until we sell out. We're talking about a breakfast menu right now. Wacoans seem to love breakfast. The main point is that we're already there. I mean, we're there at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, so why not serve breakfast,
and it's
right?
a coffee shop.
And we're right outside of a coffee shop, so it's kind of perfect. We also have a dinner menu in the works that we've had kind of going for a while. We'll say a few months, the dinner menu will be ready and we'll put that out there. But beyond that, man, we're looking to get into the farmer's market and start selling not only our barbecue, but our produce there, possibly bottling sauce. I mean, there we have a lot of different ideas.
The possibilities are endless. We have a lot ahead of us. What God gives to us, we'll take.
We just want to be good stewards. I think that's the biggest thing for me is we just want to be good stewards of what we've been given and take care of it and share it to the best of our abilities, you know. We're Helberg Barbecue and we're Waco Made.